Welcome to the deep dive. We're digging into some source material you sent over today.
That's right.
It's an article focusing on a service called BeeCharge, operating down in Atlanta.
hmm
So our mission really is to unpack this, figure out what BeeCharge actually is, why it's relevant now with, all the EVs hitting the road.
And what makes it different? Yeah, because the context here is huge, right? Atlanta, big city, EV numbers are exploding.
Exactly. And the infrastructure challenge that comes with that.
Definitely.
Okay, so let's start there. The problem. What gap is BeeCharge trying to fill? Why do we need this service?
Well, the article really hits you with the numbers for Georgia first. It says over 84,000 registered EVs in the state.
84,000. Wow.
Yeah, as of 2025. And, climbing. That's a lot of electric cars.
And didn't the article also mention something about Atlanta commuters, like interest in switching?
It did. It said about 32% have considered going electric. So the demand, the interest, it's definitely there.
But the chargers aren't keeping up. Is that the core issue?
That seems to be the crux of it, yeah. Public charging is growing, sure, but maybe not fast enough for that kind of boom. So people run into issues, right? Finding a spot, waiting, broken chargers.
The usual headaches, range anxiety, getting caught out.
Exactly.
And BeeCharge just flips that. The article had that analogy.
The AAA of EV drivers.
That's it. They bring the charge to you, which is, well, fundamentally different.
It totally changes the convenience equation, doesn't it? No more hunting, no more planning your route around a maybe available charger. They just come to you on demand.
Right, within their service area. And the source was pretty clear on where that is.
Yeah, it's quite comprehensive for the Atlanta metro area.
Yeah.
Let's see. Lists. Downtown, Buckhead, Midtown.
Decatur, Marietta, too.
Yep, Decatur, Marietta, College Park, the airport, Hartsfield, Jackson, Sandy Springs, Alpharetta, and generally Cobb and Fulton counties.
So pretty much covering the core metro.
Seems like it. Whether you're stuck downtown after a game, like in one of the stories, or out in the suburbs needing a top-up.
Okay, that makes sense for individual drivers. But the article really seemed to lean into the fleet services aspect. That feels important.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
From a business perspective, this is where it gets really interesting, I think. They're positioning themselves as a mobile charging solution for businesses with EV fleets.
Because for a business, time is literally money.
Precisely. The article mentions specific types,
Yeah.
like last-mile delivery fleets. Think Amazon, UPS, FedEx, subcontractors, those guys.
Okay.
Also rideshare drivers, Uber and Lyft. And then service fleets, electricians, HVAC, solar companies. Their vans are basically mobile offices, property management companies, too.
Right. For all of them, a vehicle sitting idle charging is, well, it's not earning. The article put it bluntly, didn't it?
It did. If your vehicles stop moving, your business stops earning. That's the bottom line. Charging downtime is lost revenue. Simple as that.
So BeeCharge offers them ways around that, like scheduled charging.
Exactly. Things like scheduled overnight charging, so the fleet's ready to roll first thing. No wasted time at the start of the day.
That's smart.
And also, emergency response. If a delivery van, say, runs low mid-route, they can get a charge brought out. Keep things moving.
Plus, the source mentioned other things for fleets. Reporting.
Yeah.
Carbon offsets.
Yeah. Custom energy usage reports, which helps manage cost and efficiency. And partnerships for carbon offsets. It's like a whole package designed to make managing an electric fleet easier, more efficient.
And greener, presumably.
Right. It tackles those specific commercial challenges that, just relying on public chargers doesn't really address well. Scheduling is a big one.
Okay, so how do they do it? What's the tech? Are these like big trucks with generators?
The article describes the units as modular, scalable, and compact. And importantly, powered by renewable sources.
Renewables. Good. So closing that loop.
Seems to be the goal. And they have dual ports.
Meaning?
One unit can charge two vehicles at the same time. Makes them more efficient on-site.
And compatibility. Can they handle like a Tesla and a Ford Lightning?
Yep. The source says they integrate with all the major models, Tesla, Rivian, Ford Lightning, Nissan Leaf, loads more. So compatibility shouldn't be an issue.
Okay. And how do you actually get them to come? Is it all through an app?
Seems like it.
Yeah.
App integration is key. You request the charge, you can track the unit on GPS, get an ETA. Standard stuff these days, but essential.
Right.
And they mentioned some recent updates, too. Real-time fleet routing for their vehicles, which makes sense. And something about AI-powered battery health diagnostics.
Ooh, okay. AI diagnostics. What does the article say that means exactly?
It doesn't go super deep, but it suggests it helps fleet managers monitor the health of their vehicle batteries over the long term.
So maybe predicting problems or figuring out the best way to charge certain vehicles?
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
That seems to be the implication, like an extra layer of proactive management for the fleet's assets. It adds a bit more sophistication.
Makes sense, especially if you're running dozens of EVs. Okay, the article had some real wizard examples, right? Customer stories.
It did. Gives you a feel for how it works in practice. There was Michael D.
Right, the guy stranded downtown.
Yeah, after a Hawks game, apparently. Down to 2% charge, called BeeCharge.
And they got there fast.
30 minutes, according to the source. Got him fully charged in under an hour. So that shows the kind of emergency response for a regular driver.
30 minutes when you're practically empty downtown, that's pretty good.
Definitely. And then there's the flip side, the business case. Angela R., a logistics fleet manager.
What was her experience?
She said using BeeCharge cut her fleet's idle time by 60%.
60%.
Yeah, she called it a game changer. And you can see why, right? 60% less time sitting around waiting to charge means 60% more time potentially on the road, making deliveries, earning money.
That is a massive difference for a business like that. It really highlights the points made in that comparison table the article included.
Oh yeah, that table comparing BeeCharge to public charging, some key things jump out.
Like the wait time.
Yeah. Exactly. BeeCharge lists 0 minutes wait time because it's on demand, right?
Right.
Versus, what does the source say, 45-minute average wait for public stations.
Yeah, something like that. And the location flexibility BeeCharge says anywhere versus fixed stations.
Total flexibility versus being tied to specific spots. Right. Plus the 247 access, the fleet scheduling. Those are things public chargers generally don't offer as standard,
And phone support. They mention live agent support.
which can be a lifesaver if something goes wrong compared to maybe getting an automated system or limited help at a public charger.
And Tesla compatibility. Public chargers are getting better, but the article still says varies, while BeeCharge says they handle Teslas fine.
Right. It all points towards convenience, reliability, and efficiency, especially for those fleet users.
Okay, so it sounds convenient, but what about the cost? How do you actually access it if you're, say, that stranded driver?
For that emergency charge, that individual use case, the article quotes a flat rate, somewhere between $79 and $129.
Okay, a flat fee for the rescue and for the fleets.
They offer memberships, starting at $199 a month. That presumably covers the scheduled charging, reporting, maybe priority service.
And they had a discount code too, right, for first-timers?
Yep, 10% off the first charge with code ATLChargeHN.
Good to know. And contact info.
All there in the source. Phone number 888-675-9555. Website is beecharge.com. And a direct booking link, too.
So pretty easy to get started, whether you need a one-off or ongoing service.
Just that way. And there was one more angle the source really emphasized.
Ah, the sustainability part.
Exactly.
Okay.
It wasn't just about charging EVs, but doing it cleanly.
Right. They mentioned partnerships.
Yeah.
Carbon offsets.
Yeah, with regional initiatives. They match every charge they deliver with a certified carbon credit.
Okay.
And they apparently fund tree planting in Georgia state parks.
Mhm.
And promote solar for their own charging gear.
So they're trying to walk the walk on the environmental side, reinforcing why people choose EVs often.
It's like that quote from the source. You drive electric, we make it even cleaner. It connects the service back to that bigger environmental motivation.
Shows they understand the whole ecosystem, not just the plug.
Right. So if we pull this all together, BeeCharge in Atlanta looks like a really flexible, mobile answer to EV charging needs.
Serving individuals in a jam, but also, maybe more significantly, tackling fleet downtime for businesses.
Backed by tech for tracking and even some battery diagnostics. And layered with that commitment to sustainability, offsets, renewables.
So why should this matter to you listening? Well, if you're in Atlanta or visit and have an EV, it's obviously relevant.
Or if you're thinking about getting an EV and worried about charging, or maybe you manage a fleet thinking electric.
Definitely. Or even if you're just curious about how cities and services are adapting to this huge shift in transportation technology.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it, as we see more and more EVs?
Yeah, what's the future balance? Will we build enough fixed stations everywhere? Or will services like this, mobile power coming to you, become a much bigger part of the picture?
Is the future less about finding a charger?
And more about the power finding you. Definitely something to think about as this all unfolds.